The Baki series has a lot of cameos of famous fighters, primarily all of them are athletes of different types of sports. But suddenly the real-life Japanese swordsman from 1500-1600 years appeared in the plot. Once a nationwide proclaimed legend who was praised to the end as Japan's greatest hero, Musashi Miyamoto was brought back to life in the modern era with a mixture of extremely advanced science and voodoo magic. Shortly after getting accustomed to the fact of his revival, Musashi is settled into residence with Tokugawa for an unknown period of time. While being hosted by the old man, Musashi is also given numerous invitations to fight the new world's top champions. Seeing this as an opportunity to reclaim his lifetime's glory and fame, Musashi is not one bit reluctant in his decisions to cut down the strongest. Throughout the whole span of the 4th series, Musashi unleashes a bloody campaign on all gods of martial arts. Musashi is extremely straightforward. He acts more or less like an ambitious, fame-striving artist of martial arts who desires the fame and glory he once had. Unlike any of the other fighters, Musashi is alone and mentally distant from the rest of the world, even more so than Pickle himself. The samurai's distorted mindset is seen numerous times across the 4th series of the manga, pointing to the fact that Musashi does not indeed feel any semblance of sympathy for others, and only considers sparing those who he pities. He hardly shows much of any concern about who he injures or maims those unlucky to challenge him. In a similar fashion to Yujiro Hanma, Musashi very rarely goes all out and instead chose to mock most of his opponents, which inadvertently sprouts out the hate other characters began to bear towards him. In the fight between him and Pickle, he says that it gets very dull and boring when his enemies and opponents goes down within a single hit. As for Pickle, Musashi can slash him as many times as he wanted to. That said, he does have a code of honor and will only respond to an opponent level of force with an equal level of force. Anyone who fights him one-on-one, he will follow the rules as his opponent dictate them. If his opponent won't use lethal force and is not trying to kill him, then Musashi will likewise do the same and only defeat his opponents while not killing them. When a police officer challenged him with a gun and stated his intent to kill if Musashi moved, then Musashi killed him without hesitation. Even then Musashi paid respect to the man by kneeling down to his fallen body, realizing that he was just doing his job as an officer of the law, while later telling his fellow officers to be at peace as their comrade died in a proper contest without fear. He will, however, show no mercy to multiple opponents attacking him with the intent to kill or do serious harm to him, as he sees it as war, not a contest. He has an incredible sense of danger, as he knows when a battle is life-threatening or not to. Musashi is renowned for his skill in swordsmanship. He is the creator of Niten Ichiryu, 2 swords as one, and the founder of the legendary Niten Ichiryu school, which is a sum of all his skills and philosophies. Even at age 17, Musashi often fights as one-man army and wins battles mostly unharmed. And when he was 58, Musashi was still undefeated and became able to use his visual swords endlessly. He is able to swing with such force that he completely destroyed a sword that has been in use for more than 60 years. Musashi also broke Retsu's 9-section whip with his hand. He has amazing grip strength, comparable to Kaoru Hanayama, able to crush bamboo, was able to lift Baki and Retsu who weighted more than 100 kilos with one hand effortlessly, and lift Yujiro Hanma up with both of his hands. When Yujiro took hold of the blade of his katana and knocked him out with the palm to the face, he is sent flying, but his grip on the sword remains strong enough that Yujiro is sent flying with him. Musashi is even able to cut through the skin of some of the toughest fighters in the series, like Baki, Hanayama, Pickle, and even Yujiro himself. Musashi himself is immensely durable and has a high tolerance to pain, taking many blows from Retsu and his whip, which sent nails and teeth from the ground on his face and even hit him to the eyes. and still managing to defeat him, endure punches from Hanayama and even from Pickle, as he survived his lean forward push, which dented him to a wall. His speed is also incredible. He was capable of outrunning vehicles or shortening the distance between his opponents in the blink of an eye and surprising them unseen. In fact, Musashi is so fast that he is able to make an afterimage, or like Yujiro, disappear from one place and appear in another, as if it was some sort of teleportation. In addition, he possesses one of the fastest reflexes from all fighters from the series so far. He was able to dodge and even cut bullets in half in mid-air, counter fast opponents in the paper distance, and dodge punches from even the fastest fighters like Baki. His skill as a swordsman is of course also extreme. He was able to counter Red Tsukai's Shaori. With his superhuman strength, he could cut through Pickle's flesh and cut through Motobe's aramid fiber chainmail. Even without a sword, Musashi maintained the ability to cut using his own hands. Musashi can simulate a sword strike without having moved an inch, with such accuracy that the people he strikes can feel the non-existent blade cutting through them and feel it fresh in their mind multiple minutes after. It is powerful enough that Musashi can use it on people who are unaware of his presence, and they will still notice it. Musashi's swordmanship is so brutal that anything less than the perfect weapon will break upon use. He can extend this to people as well. By grabbing them and swinging them like a sword, he is capable of inflicting massive internal damage. Aside from his swordmanship, Musashi also seems to have a knowledge of martial arts of his era, and many of them were mastered, as he can kill people with a single punch, yet relied on his swordmanship most of the time. His intelligence is very high. In fact, Musashi is a battlefield genius. He is extremely perceptive, thoughtful, and has immense wisdom over the arts of war, especially sword fighting. He knows every sword fighting technique and many others, which can effectively counter just about every other fighting style in the series. He was so skilled with the sword and in battle that he learned how to cut people without even using his swords, and his mind can pick up the signals of people's brains when they prepare to attack. An insanely strong character who is too overpowered in any aspect, especially since everyone tries to fight him barehanded and he uses a freaking sword and really good at it. Personally, I don't really like that kind of character, who appeared from nowhere and for me is fighting dirty considering Baki world rules of fighting barehanded. Prisoners are a whole another story, they are trash, and the only way to do something against the main characters, they should use some dirty shit to make it look interesting. Pickle also appeared from nowhere and starts to dominate, but he fought like a man and was cute. But it is only my point of view, share yours in the comments down below. Also, it is speculated that Musashi could be related to the Hanma lineage, as he and Yujiro are incredibly powerful, having similar hairstyles and personalities, as well as using a matching stance. Additionally, during Baki's battle with Oliva, a guard that was observing the battle stated that Baki resembled Musashi Miyamoto. So he could be an ancestor of the Hanma bloodline, which means nothing to the plot but sounds like an interesting theory about past of the Hanma family, which could originate even from Pickle. Thank you for watching, I hope this video was interesting to you. If so, leave a like and subscribe for more stuff like that. Again, thank you for watching, I'm out. Bye.